Hey guys, hope everyone's having a good weekend. Welcome back to my weekend analysis. I'm gonna go through the dollar index and talk about a few trades that are upcoming within the weeks and the months to come. First things first, I just wanted to say this is not financial advice. This is just how I see the market and my opinion on it. If you do get some sort of mental clarity, however, on this on how you see the charts, then please do head over to www.traderbook.co.uk, where we are doing courses and there are limited spaces only. They are running out really quickly, and honestly, if the analysis does give you any mental clarity, do head over to the website where all the information is there for you guys. So to get into it, first, as I always start with all my analysis, is looking at the dollar index. Now, looking at the dollar index, I did say in the last week's analysis that we could be heading up to here. There's resistance over here, right? Which was support, now it's resistance near the institutional candle. Now we have got equal highs over here, which they could just be blown through to get to our objective over here for the initial downwards movement. Now, this is a narrative that could happen, and I will explain why, looking at other pairs as well. Obviously, dollar retracing to have the initial move down, and I do feel like dollar is bearish, but due to everything that's going on in America right now, it still needs to make his mind up from a short-term perspective. But long-term, I am bearish. Now, if I just go onto a pair, and this is a pair you guys have not seen me talk about yet, is NZD USD. Now, if we look at this pair, if we have dollar strength to that target I was talking about, that means we could have weakness in NZD USD. Now, if we can get a strong dollar and a weak New Zealand dollar, we could be heading into this institutional candle over here. This would be a great opportunity for a buy scenario for a longer term perspective, maybe even into this, even into the gap over here and the institutional candle over here. And you could be looking at more than a 1,000 pip move. Now, as I said, this is all dependent on if I just go back to dollar for you guys, if we do get that run up to dollar here to this institutional candle and we start heading down again, which I do think will happen. It may just take a bit of time for America to ease into everything, but that does look like a reasonable scenario for NZD USD. I don't feel like it has any reason to go down, but as we know, the market can do absolutely anything at once. So that is my objective. In my opinion, we could just come down to this institutional candle and have a good run up. And this is potentially a swing trade. Sorry, not even swing, a position trade, meaning, for it to make a 1,000 pip move, it's not going to do it in a month or two. It might take, a quarter, maybe half a year. But while we know that our direction is bullish, that means we can take intraday trades based around the idea that we want to be buyers and not sellers. Now, that's NZD USD. Looking at AUD USD, we have a similar scenario. The retracement of dollar being bullish just before the bear move, we could have this retracement of AUD USD into the institutional candle over here. Now, you guys are probably thinking this too. What we do, we just take the whole two, right? We just take both of them. Now, as you guys can see, we could come down into this institutional candle and we could head up. I do feel like, as I said, there's a lot of momentum for this. We could come down, head up. We've got the equal highs over here. That's nearly a 900 pip move. And then we could come to this institutional candle where there is a gap, and that's about a 2,000 pip move. But as I said, these trade ideas will take time. However, if we do now, our overall bias is bullish, we can take trades around the idea of we want to be buyers and not sellers. Going to Euro USD, just find it for you guys. Looking at Euro USD, looking at a monthly chart again, something similar. We have the institutional candle over here, left a bit of a gap, which is completely fine. But as we can see, we have the institutional candle over here. We do have this high here, which could be turned into support. So it is something we will have to wait and see. And we do have, as I said, this institutional candle over here. So this is something which is dependent on dollar. GBP USD, as you guys can see on a daily perspective, we have been very choppy. It has been a bullish move 100%. However, we can see the amount of time it has taken and is now taking with all this choppy price action to get anywhere into these institutional candles over here. So I do feel like I want to stay out of this market. I do want to concentrate on the dollar. It is very dependent on what happens in dollar now. If we get a good retracement up, that means AUD USD and NZD USD and Euro USD, those three pairs may retrace down to those institutional candles. And whilst dollar drops, the opposite happens for those three pairs that I just mentioned. They will go to the bullish side. Now, this is something we have to keep an eye on. This is something I can't say, 100% or even say 90% this might happen. This is something we have to wait and see what happens in America and what actually is happening around the world and seeing where price goes. Once we get a definitive price action, then we are able to make a judgment of what trade we're going to take and when. So that's all for this weekend, guys. I hope you guys found this insightful. As I said, if it gave you some insight to the markets and made things a little bit easier for you, do head over to www.traderbook.co.uk, where we do courses. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, there are limited spaces, so head over there now.